Hey, day 18.
It's actually day 19 because you did day 17 twice.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. Day 17 was overwhelmed, but it's okay. Your viewers.
Day 19. Just finished recording a video with Perry, so I was going to count that and make this one super short, but
It's my video.
That is not allowed. So some of this may be redundant. Anyway, just got back from a salon, a dinner salon with
Stop. Sorry, the dog is licking his balls, and I can't, like, it just is a terrible sound.
Yeah.
I'm trying to spare you.
Yeah, this really cool dinner party salon, awesome woman's house. Yeah, really cool. Just very very I'm thinking back to like the decor of the place was even like very unique and eclectic and just like I don't know, it very very cool feel. Everybody that I met there was amazing. And yeah, at this dinner there were a couple guests of honor to have some interesting conversation with, Dean Karnazes and Tim Ferriss, to talk about the extremes of extremes in life and all kinds of different stuff.
And audience was mostly entrepreneurs, right? So it was a well curated talk.
Yeah, 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 very cool because they're both, I think, best-selling authors. I'm sure Dean has 3 books.
So Dean is the guy that has run like 50 marathons in 50 days in 50 states. And like can say, I think I said this in the other video, but like, yeah, I ran from LA to New York once. I ran from LA to New York once. Like,
yeah,
okay,
like that's
normal.
something that he can drop in conversation, right? It's like, oh yeah, oh man, and guy's incredible. Doesn't sit down, like, ever. He's flying to Chicago, and he'll sit for, the time that like you're required to sit, and then the rest of the time he'll be standing and walking up and down the aisles, kind of thing. When you run 100-mile races on a regular basis, I guess that's how things go. Really interesting, especially talking about pain limits and that kind of thing. He was talking about,
focusing on the pain.
Yeah, so rather than actually avoiding pain, and so this is, he's talking, I guess he doesn't really feel anything until like 20 miles in, which is nuts. But when he's going through crazy amounts of pain and running these races, right? Because it does not feel good to run 150 miles. Like, the body's not made for that type of thing. But yeah, the question of
by the way, he doesn't sit
at all.
At all. Like, he said when he's on an airplane, they force him. But other than that, the man does not sit down. Yeah. Ever. Like, ever.
Yeah, so yes. But the pain management thing, a lot of people ask that question of like, how do you deal with it? And I thought it was really interesting. Rather than avoiding the pain or thinking of something else, he tried doing mantras and like, thinking, meditating on other things and getting himself to be in other places. By the way, the man hallucinates a lot, which was really interesting. He's run races where you're literally, he running through 72 hours kind of thing and continuing to run, right, with no sleep.
Well, he said he
semi-sleep.
Sleeps. Well, like, he realized he was like sleep running, which is
like, he woke up in the middle of the road and was like, oh, I better go back to the side of the road where I was running before, like, and just like continue, like, he woke up running kind of thing,
which is so just beyond like my comprehension as me. Like, I just don't even see. I don't even see how that's possible.
Crazy. So anyway, he actually focuses directly on the pain and like focuses on the sensations of the pain, which I thought was interesting because from a meditation standpoint, like in mindfulness, you're focusing on what is. You're just continually feeling whatever's there, whether it's your breath, it's just using another point of focus. So for him, he'll be like, he'll look at, oh yeah, my knee's hurting a lot. What does that feel like? And continually just stick with that sensation until it either changes or turns into something else. But rather than avoiding the thought and trying to ignore it, it's actually looking directly at it. And I thought that was a really interesting concept. In the other video, we were talking about how so many things that are extreme that these people do are transferable, right? There are things that they learn from doing these extreme things of dealing with cold, running hundreds of miles, etc. That in learning how to do those extremes, you're also either learning to learn or learning to be with the process or whatever it is, right? There are things that, or learning just emotional fortitude to push through whatever, right? A lot of the people who were attending were entrepreneurs, so a lot of the questions were, how can you take this and become and deal with the emotional issues that come up, right? There are a lot of things that are extreme that take emotional fortitude and power there. That so yeah.
Well, she kept coming back to the topic of depression and I mean, as an entrepreneur, I can tell you, like the thing she was trying to talk about was how it's like this secret, and it is. It's like your whole world could be totally fucked and falling apart, and you could really be very on the edge, and you still have to put on this face of having everything together, because if you don't put the face on of having everything together, everything will be fucked. like it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it's very hard and it's very lonely, and it's very real.
Yeah. I remember that as she was talking about that, it struck a chord in a lot of people in the room, and it was really
there were people in the room. I mean, like, there are people who have definitely, like, Tim was even talking about it. He's like, yeah, I know a bunch of people who have killed themselves, right? Like, it's actually living on that kind of edge, truly, pushing boundaries like that far out, and yeah, I think everybody in there knew somebody who killed themselves, like, in the space, right? So
yeah,
it's fucked. But hey, it's like climbing Everest.
And got to try the Think too, which in that space, right? It's a like brain stimulation device.
I thought it was fucking weird. I'm sorry. It's like the oxygen bar in Las Vegas. It's like, what? Like, you really wanted to stick that shit up my nose? That's kind of what it felt like to me. But hey, I don't know that I'm a good. The founder was really nice. So, and you can buy these things for $300.
Yeah, it was really, really interesting. You can feel like the nerves that it's stimulating. I don't know how much it affected my mood. I could definitely feel, but then again, they had pretty good drinks and beakers too. So it was a little.
But I was there.
Yes. And how did you feel from the thing?
No, I meant, like, don't I affect your mood?
Yes.
You just snorted.
I did. Perfection. All right.
On that note.
Have a good night.